I've been spending a considerable amount of time these past few days taking pictures of all the styrofoam drawings I've done in the past, from the relatively new to the relatively old. The relatively new ones may be 2018 and newer. These are the energy drinks that I made a pretty difficult trip to Wegmans and back for. So much so that my arms were pretty sore while I was taking my shower today, which was done so, I would say, about an hour ago. And due to the soreness, I put cold water at the end of the shower. After making sure that I had gotten all the soap and shampoo off, and conditioner, I turned the nozzle towards the cold side in order to make the water go from being warm, I think I would say moderately hot, to moderately cold. Because I heard that cold water helps your muscles to recover. During that trip to Wegmans, I carried a garbage bag full of plastic and glass bottle containers, as well as some aluminum cans, and there were also, in the other arm generally, 2 Wegmans bag-sized, but they weren't Wegmans bags, and they were white in their plastic color, a straight white, and not just clear plastic. I have, getting pretty close to some 300 styrofoam pictures of my styrofoam drawings currently stored in my phone. Although, obviously, I have more than this. For example, I haven't taken pictures of these styrofoam drawings because, due to their faces being drawn in what I think was pen, I typically like to take pictures of my styrofoam drawings, at least this current iteration of them, during the day, to try and prevent extraneous factors from getting in the way of how they truly look, the styrofoam drawings, as part of an effort to preserve these styrofoam drawings. This one a while back got stomped on, and that happened years ago. It's pretty remarkable that the tape has stayed on for as long as it has, although at some point I'm going to need to find some styro glue to so that this styrofoam looks closer to how it originally did back in that time. This was one of the first styrofoam drawings I ever did. The very first styrofoam drawings, the very earliest, were done in pencil, but this one's still very early. With the very oldest being about a month earlier than this one. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the name of this one is Styrofoam Joe. This one might be Styrofoam Ball or Styrofoam Circle, though I'm definitely not sure on that. I've taken a picture of all the styrofoams in this storage container. The fact that I make these styrofoams, the fact that these styrofoam drawings are all shapes and sizes obviously complicates things, but I wouldn't have it any other way except maybe to have made more of them in the past. But of course, if I did that, it's possible I would have made even fewer Dan Hamming episodes than the current 98 that are up on YouTube. But I've been working on the 99th one for quite some time. Obviously, with the cup-shaped styrofoams, most of which I think came when I drank a cup of coffee, I can stack them, but I think that creates a risk of applying pressure on them, which could damage them, especially if they're kept in that condition for months or years on end, as may be in the case, just like it was last time when they were originally stored in cardboard boxes. I'm hoping to get as many of my styrofoam drawings in to storage containers like this, with perhaps maybe the sole exception of this one. Although I currently haven't taken a picture of any of these styrofoam drawings. These are all years old, and I think I may at some point if I have time today before Dad picks me up today for historically I've called them sleepovers, though also historically they were pretty much just me by myself, so I don't know if they could ever have technically been sleepovers when at best just my sister came over with me and Dad. Something that doesn't really happen anymore now that both me and my sister go off to college. Although I'm going to be heading into my last undergraduate semester, I may or may not decide to continue on as a graduate student. Or I may want to go right into law school. I'm hoping that at some point I will have taken pictures of all of my styrofoam drawings, and I could make a slideshow of all of them from oldest to the latest. Although I think in terms of the 99th Dan Hamming, I'm currently in the process of directly working on the scene where Michael kicks in a glass window in order to set off a store alarm in order to get his Uber driver some help following a gunshot to one of his legs with his revolver. Which I think I ultimately ended up making a Magnum TARDIS. I'm not entirely sure how secure that position is for that styrofoam airplane. It's one of the most unique styrofoam pieces out there, I think. And this one right here is one of the biggest. I may need an extra large storage container just to store that one in particular. I'm pretty sure I've taken pictures of all of these. I've taken pictures of all of the Scooby Gang series of styrofoam drawings I did for my mom, except for Scooby and Daphne, the one with the purple dress and orange hair. I've lately been having trouble logging into the launcher that Iron Rage provided in the follow-up to the end of life for Adobe Flash, which is ultimately was part of what led me to installing Flashpoint onto this laptop. This styrofoam got damaged by rain. And this one, I believe, got damaged by dust. So, and I think this one may have been damaged by dust too. Or maybe some kind of discolorization caused by a chemical reaction between the Sharpie markers and something else. Oddly enough, it's one of the it's a pretty bizarre case of discolorization on the styrofoams. One of the styrofoam drawings I did. I'm not sure, how ideal of a way this is to stack styrofoam cup drawings. I'm just wondering if keeping them that way for months or years on end would pose any risk of damaging them. They seem to be doing all right. I mean, it doesn't seem like the lid is pressing in on any of them. Yeah, these are some things I got. I think the last time me and Mom went to the Cornhill Festival. And I think that's a care picture I got one time I went to Darien Lake, if I'm recalling correctly. These are various things that are currently on my bed, including this case that I keep my primary laptop in. For times such as this, when I know that Dad will soon be picking me up to take me to his apartment unit. This is the glass that I had water from the other day following my Wegmans excursion. I don't believe I've shown the any of the styrofoam drawings in this container. The styrofoam's in these gray lid clear storage containers. I've taken a picture of all of them. But I've taken a picture of none of the styrofoams in this red lid, smaller clear storage container. And I think ultimately a storage container similar to that one, more of them can be found in the clutter room within the basement, though I may or may not prefer to use these kind of storage containers. They may be useful for storing the larger styrofoam drawings. Though, of course, there are a few styrofoam drawings that are simply too large to put into a storage container of this size. I recently went through this little compartment in order to find the flash drives. In the hopes of resuming work on that project where I create a flash drive with all of the Dan Hamming episodes that are currently available on my YouTube channel. with the dates they were uploaded to YouTube, I found that at best they were flash drives with 93 of the 98 Dan Hemming episodes on them, with some of the episodes having their date of originally being uploaded to YouTube. And by originally originally uploaded the correct version, because there are a few cases in which I ended up having to re-upload in order to create a version. In some cases, in order to fix a point in which the episode completely froze, and in other cases, in order to correct a minor discrepancy. I think these two candy canes are what remains of the candy I got for Christmas, which I think is pretty impressive considering Christmas was now about a month ago.